Hi, I'm Belle and welcome to How to IT. In today's video, we're diving into the world of scammers, how they operate, the tricks they use, and the warning signs that you need to watch out for. I will also share some tips if you do find yourself in one of their schemes. I believe knowledge is power, and this video is for informational purposes only. And if you know a senior citizen, please share this video with them. Scammers often target older adults, and sharing awareness can make a huge difference. Now, I can't possibly cover everything in one session. So today I'm going to focus on the basics and the tactics that scammers use and give you some tools that will aid you to not become victims of scammers. Unfortunately, everyone knows someone, whether it be you or a family member or a friend, that has been scammed. These horror stories are getting more and more frequent as the scammers are getting more and more desperate. So today I would like to make you aware of the tactics that scammers use, how you can protect yourself against scammers, and finally, if you are scammed, what to do. So with that being said, what is a scam? A scam is when someone deceives you into giving them personal information or financial information so they can then steal from you. I've had a lot of confusion about this topic. Some people have had their computers hacked. This is not a scam. It falls under, criminal activity, but there is a different channel that you need to go through in order to get that problem resolved. Also, when you buy something from Facebook Marketplace or something like that, and the product is not what you expected, that is also not technically classed as a scam under the Australian government. But you can go to the Australian consumer law and see your rights there. And also, if you paid by PayPal, you can dispute the product and other things. So there's other channels to do those other stuff. So we are looking at scams that someone initiates contact with you to then steal your personal or financial information. So let's look at some different types of scams that are being used today by scammers. So I'm just going to run through a list of scams that scammers are using today. Normally a scam falls under one of these categories. However, the way the scam is carried out can vary slightly. Invoice fraud. So this is where a criminal changes the payment details within an organization's invoice. So then the payee sends the amount to the wrong bank details or payment details, and they lose out on their money. This is typically targeted to small business owners. Phishing emails and text messages, including social media. So the scammer normally sends out an email or a text message posing as a trusted company or organization, These scams normally are after your personal information and generally have links to websites or forms to fill out that you need to click on. These scams can lead to loss of bank account access, email account access, identity stolen, and money stolen. Remote access scams. This scam is where the scammer convinces you to allow them access to your mobile or PC. So they have control of your device. They normally give you a code to put into this program that they use, and then they ask for control of your device and you have to grant them permission. Unfortunately, a lot of IT specialists do use this technology to actually genuinely help people, but scammers have taken it upon themselves to use this software maliciously. If you do not trust the person on the other end, please do not enter any codes and give access to your device to someone else. So, for example, a scammer calls you up pretending to be a Microsoft employee, saying that you have these fake issues on your computer and they have to fix them right away. Identity theft. This is where the criminal steals your personal information, like your full name, birth date, all of it, to then get access to your bank accounts and withdraw money, apply for credit cards in your name, and or bank loans. Unfortunately, your information is worth a lot of money to the wrong people, and information gets sold on the dark web all the time. Threats and extortion. These scammers use threats to your life, jail time, or deportation threats to frighten you into giving them money. For example, they could call you up pretending to be the Australian Taxation Office and say that you have a fine to pay and that you will go to jail if you do not pay it within 24 hours. Dating and romance scams. So the cyber criminal will create a fake account and fake person on the dating site and start dating victims. They will then suggest to the victim to quickly move to another chat service like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or something to continue the conversation there, as dating websites normally have monitored chats for this exact reason. So these cyber criminals quickly build relationships with the victim and then start demanding gifts like money, flowers, gift cards, etc. from the victim. Investment and cryptocurrency scams. So these scams entice the victim to invest in a lot of money in schemes with a high reward and quick turnaround. This scam is normally time sensitive to make you feel like you're pressured into getting into it, otherwise you will miss out on this great deal. Okay, so that is a list of different types of scams out there and some of the ways that they trick you into giving personal information or financial information to them. Now let's look at how to spot a scam. The main way scammers try to scam you is via your mobile phone or home phone, or through emails or text messages. Recently, scammers have been trying to get to people through social media apps like Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and also WhatsApp. Today, I'm going to mainly focus on emails and phone calls and texts. But these tips on how to spot a scam can be put to use with any of the previously mentioned scam methods. So let's go over some things to look for when you are a little bit suspicious about the email or phone call that you just got. Unexpected communication. So be cautious of the unexpected phone call or email communication that you just received. I can count on one hand how many times my bank actually has called me legitimately. If it's not expected, be suspicious. For example, receiving an email from the Australian Taxation Office in May is a bit unlikely. For phone calls, let your phone call go to message bank. If it's really important, they will call back or they will leave a message on your answering machine. A lot of the time, scammers use the unexpected surprise to startle you and trick you into submission. The next red flag is urgency. Scammers use the sense of urgency to stop you thinking clearly and think what is happening right now. Everything is live or die situation. If you do not do this right now, you will lose absolutely everything that you own. You often get threats of jail time or huge fines if you do not comply within 24 hours. If the message or conversation makes you feel panicky or fearful, please put down the phone or delete the email. It is probably a scam. Red flag number 3, poor spelling and grammar. Many scammers have English as their second language, so there are usually spelling and grammatical errors within their emails and text messages. However, unfortunately, scammers are now using AI tools to generate emails and text messages that are a lot more convincing than previously. So just looking for spelling and grammatical errors is not enough anymore. Another red flag is the request of personal information. Most of the time when you sign up with a bank, there will be fine print saying that this organization will never call you up and ask for your personal information. This is generally the case for most big companies and organizations out there. So legitimate organizations won't ask for your passwords. Unfortunately, we are taught a phone etiquette where we answer the phone and say, "Hello, this is Belle," or "Hello, this is Belle Long." And now the scammer has my first name and my last name possibly. So when you do answer the phone, just say hello and wait. This way, you're not giving the scammer free information. So the next red flag is the offer. This is where the scammer offers you something that is way too good to be true. And it probably is not true. Something like winning the lottery or receiving a huge prize gift can lure victims into giving out personal information, and then it can lead to getting targeted for even bigger scams because they saw that you were gullible for this one, so they'll try again. Getting pressured into giving money. So if they want you to send them money via, PayPal or bank account, payee, or even gift cards now, it's probably a scam. Another red flag is being directed to other websites or getting links within emails and text messages. So normally they will want you to click on a link that will take you to an external website. This website can look very real, but it's not. It is made by them, and they'll have a form there that you need to enter your personal information into. You can check the URL of the website to see if it looks suspicious. Like, you're not going to click on a URL that says trustworthy bank site when you know that you bank with Commonwealth Bank and they have a trusted URL. If you are slightly suspicious of the email or text message, please don't click on any of the links. So let's start talking about protecting yourself from scams. Now, previously I have mentioned a couple things, but we're going to go into them in detail now. So, phone calls. So when you get a phone call and you're not actually expecting one, let it go to voicemail or message bank, and if they leave a message, you can then call them back. And if the call is legitimate, the person will call you back or leave a message. Most mobiles have a scammer filter built in, so if you get a phone call or text message that says possible scam, don't answer it. So to turn this on, or make sure you have it on, you can head to the settings on your mobile phone. Then in the search bar, you can search for Enable Spam Protection, and whatever your phone uses should show up in the search results, and you can just make sure that it is turned on. So if you did answer a call and the person on the other line is urgently getting you to do something, like transfer money or give them information, otherwise your account's going to be banned, without saying anything, just hang up the phone. And if you are really worried about that call, you can then call up whatever organisation that they were claiming to be. So say they called you and said that they were your bank, and you need to transfer all your money into this other account because your bank has been suspected of malicious dealings or something, then you can just hang up on the scammer and actually call your bank or log into your bank account and make sure everything is still fine. So you can always verify from the actual source. Don't go by what they say. And the biggest tip is not to give out any personal information over the phone. So let's go over some tips and tricks to protect yourself against scam emails. So one, you can actually look at the email address that sent you the email. So you can hover over the email address, and at the at part, if it says at, Gmail or something, and it's pretending to be Commonwealth Bank or something, it's not from Commonwealth Bank. They don't use Gmail emails or Hotmail emails. Companies and organizations have domain emails. So if you're still unsure, you can check the spelling and grammar. If the email doesn't make sense to you, then it's probably a scam. Companies and organizations have people that proofread over and over and over again to make sure that there is no spelling and grammar issues and the email reads correctly. Another great tip is think, why would this company be sending me this email? Like, say a scammer was pretending to be Bunnings. Why would Bunnings be sending me an email? And the biggest thing is, if you are suspicious in any way, please do not click on any links within the email, as this can take you to malicious sites, and then you can download viruses and you wouldn't even be aware of it. Again, verify where it came from and what they're saying. If supposedly your bank did contact you in email, call your bank up. Say, hey, I just got this email. Was this from you, or what's going on? The bank may be actually really appreciative, so they can send out notifications to people saying, there is another email scam, please be aware. You can also use filters within your email account, so you only get emails from people that you have verified or from your contacts list. Another secure way is to create another email address where you use this email to apply for things like the discount stores, like the Woolies Everyday Rewards card and all of that stuff. So you have one email for your banking and that sort of stuff, and then another email that you give out to other people. You may be surprised to see how many more junk emails that you get with that email that you hand out to other companies compared to the email that you use primarily for like your bank account or government services and things. If a junk email comes to your inbox, you can mark it as junk and then block it, so you won't get any further communication from that email address. Now, this means that they can still create a new email address and still send you junk email, but the way I see it is that's one less email that you'll get junk email from. Going back to the filters, I would actually also recommend turning on strict rules for incoming emails and even text messages and phone calls. You can do this on your phone as well. This strict email setting will send pretty much all incoming scam emails to your junk folder straight away, and they won't come into your inbox. Be aware though, if you do sign up to emails and newsletters from companies and things, you may have to, when you receive an email from them, it might have gone straight to junk, and you'll just have to go into your junk folder, see that email, and then just click on not junk, and then this will always go into your inbox. To turn this on, it varies between email providers. So Google's a little bit different to Outlook, but you should be able to search strict rule filtering or strict filtering, and you should be able to find the setting to do it. You can also use Google, and you might see a video or something out there, so it can tell you how to turn it on. So a lot of browsers now have browser safety features. I know Chrome has safe browsing. You can go in there and make sure that's turned on. So if you end up clicking on a link or something, and Chrome then suspects that this link or this website that you're trying to go to isn't official or legitimate or doesn't have a security certificate, it will give you a warning before it opens that page. Microsoft Edge also has this feature. It's under Enhanced Security. Edge also has a scareware blocker built in as well. Most of the big browsers out there like Chrome and Edge and Firefox, they all keep up to date with their security, and they also have recent information for scamming protection and things like that. Another great feature to help your account from scammers and also hackers is to enable two-factor authentication. Now, this process is pretty much you enter your username and then your password to a website or something, and then you'll get a code either to your email or your phone number or mobile, a text message, and then you enter that normally 6-digit code into the website to verify that is really you that's trying to access the account. If any of your accounts out there say that you can enable two-factor authentication, please enable two-factor authentication. It has stopped a lot of scams and hackers from getting into accounts. I know it may be a bit of more trouble and a hassle, but it will protect your data. Most banks and official organizations like Microsoft and Google and things already have this two-factor authentication built in, so they make you sign up for it straight away. and do it. Sometimes the code can also go into an authenticator app which is on your phone. So for all my Google accounts, I get a code on my authentication app on my phone, and then I just type that in to access my account. So I'm not waiting for an email or an SMS, because sometimes they don't come straight away and you're waiting and waiting. So you can, in some situations, set up a authentication app and link it to your accounts. Each organization is different on how they do this, but the steps are normally pretty clear on how to set up the two-factor authentication. And if you have troubles, call their contact support and they will be more than happy to help you get two-factor authentication working. The next tip to help keep you safe is don't use the same password for every account. If you do this, you are just asking for trouble. Because if that one password gets out, then a scammer or a hacker can have all of your accounts because it's all the same passwords. When choosing a password as well, try not to use any familiar words and things like your son's name or your daughter's name or a pet's name. Try and keep it very not related to you whatsoever. Always have capital letters in there somewhere, also numbers and a special character to create a really strong password. If you think account of yours, like a PayPal account, has been hacked or possibly scammed, go into that account and change the password immediately, and you can also contact them to make sure that your account is secure and get that two-factor authentication put on. Another tip is don't enter fishy giveaways on websites where it's got an ad like you could win this MacBook Pro or something like that. It's too good to be true. Don't even think that it could be true. Just don't enter it, because most of the time when people do enter that stuff, their personal data gets taken and then sold to the highest bidder, and then you get targeted for scams tenfold because they think you're gullible. Okay, so I know that's a whole heap of information, but key takeaways. 1. Are they rushing you? 2. Do they want personal details or money? 3. If you're unsure, verify from the source. Go to the official website or call the official company number. Don't use any of the links that they provide you. Ask, why would this company be contacting you? Is this too good to be true? And if you have any doubts, stop. Hang up the phone or delete the email and then verify if you're really concerned or worried about what they said. Okay, so with these tips and tricks, hopefully these, like just having information and being aware of the scams that they are pulling, can make you be more protected and aware and just stop and think rationally about what is going on. Unfortunately, the scare tactics and the urgency, and sometimes they get you in the middle of doing something and you might not be thinking clearly. It does happen, unfortunately. So what do you do if you are scammed? So if you think you've fallen victim to a scam, please contact your financial institution immediately. Given enough time, your financial institution could actually cancel the payment or your account, so you don't actually lose any money. Some people have been able to get a full reimbursement of the money that the scammers stole. Some people can get half. Some people couldn't get any back, but they prevented more scammers taking more money because they called their financial institution and stopped their account. Your bank will give you a number of steps to follow as well. If you do believe that you've been scammed, another thing is to change passwords, just to make sure that your password is yours and yours alone. And if you have been scammed, help others so they don't get scammed the same way you did. You can report the scam through the National Anti-Scam Centre, ScamWatch. You can go to their website. There's also another website that gives you up-to-date information on new scams being pulled by scammers to scam you out of your money. So you can always be aware of new scamming tactics that they are using. I believe information is the number one way to prevent people from getting scammed. If they have the information, like I've shared with you today, hopefully you won't fall for all their tactics. I really hope this video has been helpful for you, and I really hope that the scammers don't have a shot in scamming you after this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.